Today's world is in desperate need for tangible solution. And governments of the world are not in the business to provide solution in the marketplace, but they are responsible to address the challenges that the world today is facing. So who is the one that can provide tangible solution and can sustain it and maintain it? If you look to this side, if I may, this is the private sector of the world. The private sector of the world trusts only the profit-driven organization that have experiences. This is IBM of the world, JP Morgan Chase of the world. This is like the insurance company, Lloyd's Insurance of the world. These are profit-driven organizations that private sector trusts. So when you provide solutions that should be, you're telling them to adopt it so we can provide a platform, so which we need this platform for the world to reduce its cost of the trade and connect the strengths. The private sector wants to listen to those networks. By the way, when I was in Euromed region, I made a joke to Her Excellency Stefania Craxi. I said, could you imagine being the Italian government, that you as the Italian government and me as an NGO going to Fiat and say, we have a proposal to make you more efficient? They would be laughing at us. I said, we need to have with us the private trusted network of the world, profit-driven of the world, which is representing those three industries. That's one. Number two, such a global initiative requires the support of governments. But the governments, from this side of the equation, they cannot partner with a profit-driven organization for the antitrust law and so forth, so on. So it requires a non-profit organization that can bring together this to close this formula. So having said that, and also it requires between the non-profit, because what is the non-profit? The non-profit organization is calling for a common cause for the public and private to work on delivering the solution. But once the solution is delivered, each one of them have those entities, the public and the private, have to go back to what they do best, back to their work. So it requires another entity in between called the revenue sharing organization to do this revenue sharing that we just talked about, in order to monitor the performance of the profit-driven organization delivering the solution to the global, to the private sector. So having said that, so what that formula looks like is this is a real formula for a real public-private partnership. Means government of the world, non-profit organization, revenue sharing organization, profit-driven organization, and so to reach the private sector. This is the required formula to deliver also the solution. As you can see, there is a lot of equations that collectively bring together the solutions that we talk about. This is where the government's role, if I may, from a general perspective. As far as the SMEs goes, imagine SMEs today of the world having a system without cost, accessing around the world, all their potential partners, and also to integrate with the global supply chain. This is a dream come true to SMEs. That's number one. Number two, also, when SMEs, so in essence, connecting them to their market, connecting them between each other, and to connect them to the market. Number one. Number two, global market. Number two is at no cost again. And who is delivering the system is a profit-driven, trusted network. Number two, when we talk about finance, trade finance. So when the banks today want to finance an SMEs, he needs to know his history and where he's been doing business before, who he's dealing with, how much is bankable. So all this will be possible through our system and would help the SMEs to expedite his trade finance is, if I may, submission. And when he does, also, it helps the banks to ensure that the money is going where it's supposed to go, because it provides this transparency. At the same time, if something goes wrong, there is access to the collateral material or the inventory in the pipeline. So it would minimize the risk of financing, if I may, and so forth, so on. And even, let me put it this way, on an overall perspective, cargo security, we did not talk about it a lot. It's very important. I had the opportunity to testify in a hearing after September 11 on how to protect the borders of the United States. And 7 of our recommendations become presidential directives in this hearing. Cargo security also is a major issue. Imagine that today, if one container discovered with a bomb going to the United States, the whole supply chain will shut down. And there is still some discussion which authority will make the decision to reopen the supply chain. And not only that, they cannot take the risk. Why? Because they don't have the transparency. They don't have the ability to reopen the supply chain. So what that means? Is this a simple matter? This is a major issue. Why? You go do negotiation. You find the business to get together and do trades and agreements. You put the value stream, supply chain together to start doing business. You finance it, and suddenly something like this happens, jeopardize all your efforts. So as efficiency is important and trade finance is important, also this aspect is important when we talk about trade and global trade. So anyway, as you can see, there is a variety of benefits to the SMEs. And also there is, and the governments of the world are in need today for a formula, as the one I had explained, to deliver a tangible solution to the world. And that's what we do.